When Keanu Reeves steps onto the set of Voices in Debate, the audience braces themselves, expecting yet another deep, thoughtful conversation. But James Holloway? He's not here for thoughtfulness. He's here for confrontation. Known for breaking his guests down with sharp, calculated provocations, Holloway sees Keanu's silver cross necklace as more than just jewelry. It's an opportunity, a symbol to dissect, a belief to challenge. Yet, as Keanu takes a seat, something shifts. The power dynamic feels uncertain. Holloway leans in, ready to pounce, believing he holds the upper hand. But what he doesn't realize, by the end of this interview, it won't be Keanu struggling for words. It'll be him. And the world will be watching. Before we dive into this intense exchange, let us know where you're watching from. And if you love stories like this, hit that subscribe button because tomorrow we have another special story just for you. The studio buzzed with energy. Bright lights illuminated the sleek, modern stage, LED panels flickering in rich hues of blue and gold, reflecting the show's sharp, sophisticated identity. The audience murmured, excitement crackling in the air, anticipation for what was about to unfold. Voices in Debate was no ordinary talk show. It thrived on confrontation, celebrated for its host, a man whose reputation for challenging, even dismantling, his guests made him both thrilling and intimidating. At the center of it all, James Holloway adjusted his tie, a subtle smile playing on his lips. Tall, silver-haired, with piercing eyes, he was a master of provocation. His specialty? Pushing guests beyond their comfort zones, extracting truths they might rather keep buried. The show's opening theme pulsed through the speakers. Applause erupted. The cameras zoomed in as Holloway spread his arms in a practiced, theatrical gesture. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of Voices in Debate. His voice carried confidence, commanding attention with ease. The show where we deconstruct narratives, explore truths, and put great minds to the test. The crowd responded with enthusiastic applause. Every week, Voices in Debate brought in influential figures, politicians, intellectuals, celebrities, engaging them in conversations that often made headlines. But tonight's guest? He was different. Not a scandal-ridden public figure. Not a politician shrouded in controversy.
No, he was an icon.
Beloved, respected, yet wrapped in an air of mystery. Holloway let the tension build before finally continuing. Our guest tonight is one of Hollywood's most recognizable faces. A legendary actor, known not just for his talent, but for his humility, his humanity. He's someone who rarely reveals more than necessary, but tonight, he leaned forward, voice thick with intrigue. Tonight, we're going beyond the surface. A dramatic pause. Ladies and gentlemen, Keanu Reeves. The audience erupted. Some even rose to their feet, their admiration loud and clear. The camera shifted toward the side of the stage. A curtain parted. And there he was. Keanu emerged, walking with that signature composed stride, an air of quiet presence surrounding him. He wore a sleek black suit, no tie. His shoulder-length hair framed his face, and against the darkness of his attire, a silver cross necklace gleamed under the studio lights. He acknowledged the audience with a small, reserved smile before settling into the chair across from Holloway. One leg crossed over the other, relaxed. Unfazed by the weight of expectation hanging thick in the air, Holloway leaned in slightly, eyes sharp. "Keanu Reeves," he said smoothly. "A pleasure to have you here." Keanu's response was calm, steady. "The pleasure is mine, James." The host studied him for a brief moment, like a chess player contemplating his first move. "You have a reputation," Holloway mused, "for being one of the nicest guys in Hollywood. An enigma. Always kind. Always discreet. Never caught up in scandal." His voice carried a knowing edge. "But, honestly, I think there's much more to you than people realize." Keanu gave a small, knowing smile, tilting his head ever so slightly. "I think we all have more layers than we show the world." "No doubt," Holloway agreed, narrowing his gaze slightly. "And that's exactly what we're here to explore." A pause. Calculated. Deliberate. Then, Holloway's gaze flicked to the silver cross resting against Keanu's chest. Now, tell me. He gestured toward the necklace. You've never been particularly outspoken about religion or faith, yet here you are, wearing a very visible Christian symbol. Keanu's expression remained serene, though his fingers instinctively brushed against the cross, a quiet, unconscious habit. The studio lights flickered softly. A commercial break loomed. And the audience? They were hooked. Holloway knew this moment well. This was his favorite part. The moment he stripped away a guest's defenses, forced them into uncomfortable territory, cornered them. And Keanu? He was next. As the show returned, Holloway twirled a pen between his fingers, his smirk laced with superiority. "All right, we're back," he announced. Then, his gaze locked onto Keanu, sharp and predatory. "Before the break, I asked you a simple question. Keanu, what does that necklace mean to you?" Silence fell. The audience leaned in. Keanu's fingers brushed over the silver cross, rolling it between them. His expression?
Calm.
Unreadable. "This necklace," he echoed, glancing at it thoughtfully. "It has personal meaning to me." Holloway arched a brow, letting out a short, scoffing laugh. "Personal," he repeated mockingly. "Oh, come on, Keanu. You're a public figure. Everything you wear, everything you display, it sends a message." Keanu didn't flinch, didn't react. But Holloway felt the shift in the air. The host leaned forward, voice dripping with condescension. "And let's be real here." He gestured toward the cross. "It's 2025. The world has changed.
People have changed.
Yet here you are," he pointed directly at the necklace, wearing an archaic symbol. The provocation was blatant. The audience stiffened. Keanu's gaze remained steady. "Archaic?" Holloway smirked, twisting the knife deeper.
Yes.
"Archaic. Religion.
Faith.
Belief in unseen forces." He waved a hand dismissively. "I'm not a religious man, Keanu. I believe in reason in progress. And frankly, I find it surprising that someone like you, modern, progressive, intelligent, would still cling to something so outdated." He chuckled, shaking his head as if Keanu were a child still holding on to fairy tales. "Look, I get it when simple-minded people without access to knowledge, hold on to faith. But you..." Holloway raised a brow, eyes gleaming with superiority. "You've traveled the world, seen different cultures. I expected better." Some in the audience laughed nervously. Others? They shifted in discomfort. But Keanu? He didn't react, didn't shrink under the weight of Holloway's words. Instead, he simply met the host's gaze.
Calm.
Unshaken. Then, at last, he spoke. "Interesting, James."
His voice was steady,
carrying an undertone of quiet strength. "You talk as if faith and intelligence are mutually exclusive." Holloway scoffed. "Oh, come on, Keanu." Keanu tilted his head slightly. "And love?" Holloway blinked. "What? Can you measure love, James?" The studio fell silent. And just like that, the interview had shifted. Holloway wasn't in control anymore.
Keanu was.
And the audience? They knew it. Symbol, but the truth is, symbols only have the power we give them. The cross didn't start wars, James. People did. The same way people have twisted justice, freedom, even science to justify terrible things. The problem isn't faith. The problem is what people choose to do with it. The audience murmured again, some nodding in agreement. Holloway's lips parted as if to argue, but Keanu continued, his tone calm yet firm. "I wear this cross not because I ignore history, but because I understand it. I know its weight. And I choose to let it remind me of love, not hate, of hope, not division." Holloway sat back, his carefully crafted persona cracking slightly. He was losing. The tension in the studio was electric, and the audience knew they were witnessing something rare, the deconstruction of a man who had built his career on deconstructing others. Keanu let the silence linger before delivering the final blow. "You wanted to challenge my beliefs, James. But maybe the real question is, what do you believe in?" Holloway's jaw tightened, his fingers curling slightly on the desk. For the first time in a long time, he had no response.